downtown where you can get a date for 50, 60, 70, even 80% off the original social marketplace price. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer. Take a trip into the macabre world of goth modeling in the new millennium in this spooktacular Spinsterella story. Pick up your copy of Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Better get the cool slow, y'all, cause we're having us a barbecue. Actress Halle Berry says that actor Pierce Brosnan restored her faith in men on the set of James Bond Die Another Day. Now, according to an article in Wired, Halle Berry says that as she was making the 2002 movie Die Another Day, her working on the set with Pierce Brosnan restored her faith in men. Now, according to Halle Berry, there couldn't be a human being that's more of a gentleman when she thinks of Pierce Brosnan. And I would say that yes, Pierce Brosnan is a class man and a gentleman who has had a long relationship with his wife and his children and presents a really positive image of manhood and masculinity. I would say give Pierce Brosnan that credit, but I would say that the writers of this Wired article that was featured in Variety are being really disingenuous because basically this whole article about Halle Berry getting her faith in men restored by Pierce Brosnan being presented to us almost 24 years later is just another case of the white media giving us another low-key hit piece to take a swipe at heterosexual black men. Now, when it comes to this article that is going out here saying that Halle Berry's faith in men was restored by Pierce Brosnan, what the white media wants to do is look to demonize the image and reputation of black men by going out here and low-key dissing heterosexual black men by saying they could not be a man of character on the level of Pierce Brosnan and are nothing more than men of less than sterling character, because when it comes to this white media, as they look to demonize black men, they only want to show black men being in the stereotype of either the black brute or the minstrel out here. And when it comes to Halle Berry, what they want to do is use her story to go out here and push that narrative. What they want to do is say that these black men that Halle Berry was married to, David Justice and Eric Benet, were not gentlemen towards her, and want to go out here and take this story in time and use it as an example of how black men don't meet the standard of character of white men. That's what they want to do by taking this story out of historical context, because during the time that Halle Berry was filming the movie Die Another Day, she had just come out of a divorce from David Justice and was in her second marriage to Eric Benet. And as she was in that second marriage to Eric Benet, this is where she alleges that Eric Benet was caught up in sexual addiction and had cheated on Halle Berry, who at the time was considered to be one of the world's most beautiful women. And as she accuses Eric Benet of cheating on her, she said that this was her reason for looking to divorce Eric Benet. That's what she claimed in, I think, about 2003, when her relationship ended between her and Eric Benet. Now, I find that to be quite interesting because if Die Another Day came out in 2002, they had to have been filming it in 2001. So Halle Berry basically, as she claims, was dealing with infidelity issues around 2001 and basically says that her faith in men was shattered as a result. And that's where I think Halle Berry basically got it twisted. As she saw this white man, she basically thought, oh, this white man was this class act. And Pierce Brosnan, I will say, it was a class act, because if you look at pictures of him and his wife and his children, he has been with his wife for, I think, about over 30 years. And basically, again, a man of great character. And as he's been out here, again, he does present an image of manhood and masculinity. I'll give him credit for that. But I understand what the media arm of white supremacy wants to do in this case. And what the media arm of white supremacy wanted to do with this whole article is, again, use Halle Berry's story to go out here and, again, take that swipe at heterosexual black men. And as they take that swipe at heterosexual black men, they want to make the black man the bad guy of the story. They want to make the black man the villain of the story and have it like, oh, a black man can't go out here and be a gentleman and a class act towards a woman and show character to a woman and be respectable to a woman. That's the message that they want to send between the lines of this article. They want to send a message to say, oh, this black man cannot go out here and treat a woman right. But when we look at this article, again, we know that that's not true, because after Halle Berry did get involved with Eric Benet and that relationship wound up ending, she eventually then got involved with Michael Ealy for a moment. And when she went out here and got involved with Michael Ealy, what happened was she showed less than sterling character, looking to try to trap Michael Ealy with a baby, allegedly, on as related to her terms. And that's what led to her splitting up with Michael Ealy. And after that whole situation, again, showed how she basically was losing her faith in black men. She then went out here and then eventually got involved with French-Canadian model Gabriel Aubry, a white man. And as she got involved with this white man, that's where we see that her faith in men basically was all about deifying and worshiping this white man, because she didn't think the black man could meet her impossible and unrealistic standards. And as a result, what happened with Halle Berry is that she got involved with that white man, thinking he would be better than the black man, but then wound up deeply disappointed when she got involved with this white man. And as she had a child with that white man showed less than sterling character by going out here and calling her the N-word, as she claims. And as she had this tumultuous relationship, she eventually, that relationship between her and that white man never ended in marriage, but ended up with her stuck on child support as she got involved with another white man, Olivier Martinez, who she married and then wound up stuck with this man, eventually winding up divorcing both of those men. And as a result, was in a situation worse than she was with the black men, because she was paying child support to both of these white men. And as she was involved with those white men, they basically showed her that, as related to her so-called faith in men, how God had failed and forsaken her, because this is really what this whole article is about, presenting the white man as an ideal. But we see when it comes to Halle Berry, that white man basically shattered her whole faith in men, because eventually, after she wound up getting run through by these two white guys, she was out here in the streets looking to get involved with this black man, this poor black man, who she's currently with. This guy, I forget what it is, Van Hunt. And poor Van Hunt is sadly in the place of being the final simp. And sadly, Halle Berry's faith in men basically is just a complete mess, because sadly she comes from from a dysfunctional situation as related to her mother's traumatic and tumultuous relationship with her father, and that's what bear the foundation for her relationships with men basically had a shaky ground, because her mother really didn't have a good relationship with her father. And sadly, no man can go out here and heal that type of damage. We see that with Halle Berry. And sadly, when it comes to Halle Berry, she can't see how she's being used as a pawn by the system of white supremacy as related to this hit piece on black men, because what they want to do with this type of propaganda is present this white man as an ideal as related to relationships between black women and black men, and say that this white man is a better choice. And yes, Pierce Brosnan was a better choice for his wife, and they've had an almost 30-year, or I would say 35-year relationship. This man has basically grown old with his woman because he knew what love was. But when it comes down to the people in the media arm of white supremacy, they want to go out here and push hit pieces on self-hatred and push pieces on self-hatred, because they're all about going out here and again demonizing the image of black men and taking swipes at black masculinity and black manhood, and saying that when it comes to black men, they're not somebody you could trust to have a relationship with. Now, if you want to go out here and learn how women like Halle Berry wind up in a paradigm of failure where none of their relationships work, you can pick up my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find Why 70% of Black Women Are Single at other online booksellers like Draft Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you want to see me take celebrities like Halle Berry to the barbecue, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Runway of Doom. The goddess next door struts her stuff on the catwalk to take on a runway of rogues in this action-packed all-new Isis series adventure. Get your copy of Isis, Runway of Doom at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, Esteem a New Woman. The devilish diva starts on the road to becoming a new creature in Christ in this all-new Esteem series adventure. Get your copy of Esteem a New Woman at Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, An Offer He Can't Refuse. The man who rules the world gets a job offer he can't refuse in this action-packed all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes, An Offer He Can't Refuse at Amazon.com and other online booksellers. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.